Good afternoon, everybody. Bit of a wonky start today. I had a problem. If you were actually watching the countdown, you would have seen it. An error of some sorts. What error that is, I have no clue. But they had to shut down the stream, shut down OBS and restart it, and it seemed to have disappeared. So, I'm just watching Mr. Smudo watch the countdown. Oh, okay. What I will do actually is, while I'm sitting here saying hello to everyone, I hope your weekend's going well for those who are still in it. For those who are not, welcome to the weekend week. Well, you won't be here because you'll be busy working, possibly. Let me just delete that little, yes, thank you, goodbye, well done, good for you. Right, back to that, back to the game, and I hope my steering wheel's not so heavy. Brilliant. Alright, so what was I saying? Hello, yes. Finally up and running. Back to it, Farming Simulator 22 Monopoly. Yeah, I forgot to bring OBS up as well. There we go. Steering wheel, still good. Excellent. Yeah, so I'm back here with Smudo and Patrio. How are you guys?
I am good. A lot better than yesterday. I had a little bit of headache yesterday. That seems to be gone.
Yeah, not so bad. I shuffled my
hello there.
Steering wheel pedals out of the way so I don't have to hurt my feet trying to bend them in funny angles, and noticed a fair amount of beard hair all over the car, so a fit of agitation swept it up.
JJ?
Right, we can get to work now. Sorry, I was on mute. I don't know why. I actually have no reason to have been on mute. So, yes, no, like I said, I had a bit of an issue. There was an error that came up about a token of something or some such. I don't know what it was. Don't really care because I got rid of it. And also had someone come in and say hello before we started. We were chatting away. I was trying to chat away, but I got slightly distracted by the error, but got back on track. So that was a Mr. Frifka coming in just before he was heading off to his Betty Boys. So, and a Mr. DJ, he might turn up a little bit later. He was late yesterday, maybe a bit late today, because, oh, isn't it on automatic unload bail? There we go. I have to turn it back on, even though I turned it on yesterday. Right, so, can we get the speed back up too? Back to 5, all good. Slowly getting there, ladies and gentlemen. I missed a little bit actually there, didn't I? So currently Mr. Smudo has a farm, the cheating beggar, and I'm last in this competition currently, but I've come up with a plan, Stan. I've come up with strategy, and so yeah, that should ensure me staying in last place most likely. And hopefully we've got the better contracts mod that we used in our FS19 stream. This is a very, very narrow pickup. Coming out this week with a bit of luck. It's in testing by Giants at the moment. So is the Place Anywhere, which has got the name of Extended Placeables or something, which was the name of it in, what was it called? Global Company, because that's where it was. There's an option there to turn on, along with Horse Helper and other ones like that. Which is interesting because that's LS Mod Company, and I did have a look on their site and to see what mods they had out. And they currently only have 4 mods out, and that wasn't one of them, so whether or not they were just keeping that special for Giants, we'll find out. Hopefully this sometime this week. Actually probably later on tonight for me, because it's the weekend. They never release anything in the weekend, and you can always tell that because the expected mod testing phase was 1 day for all the week, and then on Saturday when I went and had a look, it changed to 3 days, which just happens to be the weekend.
That is true. But there was a Place Anywhere mod before Global Company came out, so maybe it is that one, and not the LS Mod Company one.
Well, that one was called Place Anywhere though. The name that they're testing is the one that LS Mod Company called it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I mean, it's quite possible.
I mean, of course you're right. It's you we're talking about, right?
I'm always right.
That's what I mean.
Yep, you're right. So, but I imagine it wouldn't be the same guy because being modders and stuff like that, they would that guy wouldn't like someone to take a mod and use a different mod and use his name, or you know what I mean? Using the people's name, he would have stuck with the Place Anywhere mod because that's what his name is probably associated with. Anyway,
that's probably true.
Right, will these bales go for a walkabout somewhere? I don't know. We'll find out. Speaking of which, I have found a mod. There is a mod available, done by the guy that had one of the first auto-load trailers I used in 19, the big 51-foot trailer. And if you happen to know Mr. Fifka and saw his series, he was also using that trailer. Now Alfalfa is the modder, and he's come out with a mod that will stop your bales from rolling away. It's called Lazy Bales.
That sounds just funny. Sorry.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll come out with an auto-load trailer, because he was pretty much the first one to pop one out. I mean,
that is true.
They actually worked properly. Well, there were actually other ones that were put out, but they always had an error. They didn't work properly. Always struggling with them, and then yeah, he came out, and then he was also the one that developed the easy auto-load script. So, which he converted that in, which I should have looked at that, because basically it's a script that you add, it's a mod you add in, and then you have a little bit of code that you put into a trailer. So you could pretty much, on theory, I'm pretty sure you could got a trailer you downloaded or something like that, and then for your own purposes you could have added that little bit of script into that trailer's XML, and then having that mod running, you could have turned in a trailer that wasn't auto-load into a trailer that was an auto-load trailer. So if he brings that out again, I would like to have a look at that. He might even bring that out first, but what I do need is a trailer that has it on it, so I can go in and have a look at the coding. And when I say have a look at the coding, it's basically copy and paste into another XML, which is fine as long as you don't upload that mod. If you do that for yourself, that's fine, as long as you're not uploading it for other people and trying to make money off it. Don't steal other people's work. You wouldn't like it when someone comes in and steals your TV.
Even if you don't try to make money off it, it's your personal edit. You don't know if you can guarantee the quality of the original modder. You just don't upload self-edits.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that is, I mean, even if you did put what you've done is put a little bit of code into someone else's thing and uploading it and taking the credit for the whole thing, which is, like I said, that's like going to work and doing an 8-hour day, and then your boss turning around and paying someone else for 2 hours of your work instead of giving it to you. So you only get paid for 6 hours for doing 8 hours, and someone else who did absolutely nothing gets 2 hours of your pay, which is pretty much what it is.
Agreed.
Thank you, number one. So I finally figured out what I needed to do to get the wrapper to work as of yesterday, end of yesterday's stream. So that was a bonus. I've just got a hay bale sitting there, or a grass bale sitting there. Hopefully I can sell it. It'd be really nice if I could. Oh, I've got 2 of them actually. So it turns out, see, this baler here, it'll do anything from a 130 centimetre, which is a 1.3 metre, 1.5 metre, 150 centimetres, I think you're getting the picture, or 1.8 or 180 centimetres. So you can have your three choices of size bales you want this to pop out, but it would only wrap in, the 1.5 and the 1.3 metre bales. It won't do it on 1.8, which I didn't know about. Well, I would have if I actually read the shop description a bit better, but I didn't. And what I mean by better, I mean read it at all, because I didn't read it at all. And
So
I said it to...
You can't make the biggest bales into silage then. Those are then just for hay and straw.
Yeah. Unless I suppose I didn't check, there might be a wrapper that you can buy that will do a 1.8 metre. I mean, surely it would make sense, question mark? I don't know. Because I mean, if you can make that bale, you're doing the same thing. You make a bale and you want to make silage, so you use a baler to do that, and the size that comes out is what you wrap. So if you make a 1.8, why can't you make a wrapper that will do 1.8? And I assume it will. The reason I think this only does the 1.3 and 1.5 is because if you go to a 1.8, obviously it might not be able to do it. Because of the size of the bales and the size of the implement that's doing the wrapping, to be able to cover it properly.
Quickly flicking through it, it looks like the big Anderson hybrid X tractor, the one that makes a long snake. That will do a 1.8, but that's the only one that does.
I suppose that's a choice. Me on the other hand, my private play or solo play or whatever, I'm not going to worry about that because I've got myself a fermented production silo thing. It works a treat. Also, we tried to figure out how to work that auto feeding cow barn. And I figured it out last night because there's, well, I didn't pay any attention, but there's an extra thing you've got to add in with it to make TMR. Now, if you've got a TMR mixer that you buy, you don't have to add this product in that you can do with the old ingredients of hay, silage and straw to make your TMR. But with this one, you've got to add the extra ingredient, which is optional in that other one, which is mineral feed, which I didn't realise. So...
Oh, I was wondering what that was for.
Yeah, which you can only buy unless you find a thing that will dispense it for you. There may or may not be one out there. So I did it. I put it in last night and I got it all to work because there's a bay for you to put your hay, there's a bay to put your straw, and obviously there's a huge bay for your silage because I think you need more silage than the rest with the ingredients. So yeah, I got it to work. Oh, I tell you what, fantastic. Absolutely just a lot of fun to watch. Even better, I did it at night because the lights for the cow shed are red.
Red?
Yes, and it's incredible. It's
That's
like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's really, really, really neat when you're in the cow barn. A little disappointing, the cows walk through the walls. You'd think they'd fix that, but then again the cows also work through you, so they've got no collision whatsoever. But it's a little disappointing on that fact for a bit of realism, you know, your cows are walking through the wall of your barn. But the feeder itself, this is what happens. This is amazing. So what happens is when you drive in, it's like a big bay. You drive in to put your silage and all that in, and then what happens is when it starts to it does the TMR mixing for you, and a big curtain comes down so you can't get in, and then the crane comes along and it goes along and then it drops down and picks up some silage and then puts it in the TMR mixer, and then it comes along and picks up some straw and then takes that over to the TMR mixer. Then it comes along and picks up the hay and then puts it over the TMR mixer. You get to see all this, it's all animated. And the TMR mixer is the robot. So once it's done its mixing, its little garage door opens up. It drives out of the garage door, goes down the side and into the feeding area, goes all the way to one end, then comes back and stops at 4 different places and feeds the cows, and then goes back into a little cubby hole. It is fantastic to watch.
And still no Lele Juno.
No, but I was discussing that with Duck last night because I was trying to remember. It was definitely in 15 standard. I think it might have been a mod in 17, available mod.
It was definitely a mod, yeah. Because I remember getting that mod and not being too happy about it. Because I couldn't, for the life of me, manage to have that thing run in a straight line.
Yeah, it took a little bit to... It worked exactly like the FS15 one did. But the other disappointment for you, Smudo, is that you weren't a fan of Courseplay, and the people who were a fan of Courseplays had it running on Courseplay.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So...
But to be fair, I didn't even know about cosplay in that stage.
Fair enough.
So...
Yeah, but that's what I was surprised about 19. I was a little disappointed that they didn't bring it back, because that's what Giants normally do. They bring something in one version, then take a few of them out and bring something else in, and then generally put the stuff that was standard in the other version out in a DLC, and then they keep changing, chopping and changing like that. So that's why I'm guessing that this time around we're going to have a Vulture DLC, and that's the reason why we haven't got any Vultures in the game.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you know, because that's because the Coon stuff came standard with 17, and then 19 they came out in a DLC. So, but I was also disappointed that nobody made a mod, and it was one of the most used implements for anyone who had a animal pen was the Lely Juno. So it'd be really, really good if someone could do that. Hint, hint. Anyone modders watching? I doubt it. Right, hello.
Ow.
So there's definitely mods coming out thick and fast. The only thing I'm having trouble with is actually finding out where the original upload was done by the modder. That's my only issue at the moment. So I've stuck with a personal choice of just waiting for ModHub mods, unless I know exactly that the place I've got the mod from is the original place. I'm not trying to give anyone else any cash because they decided to grab it and throw it up on one of those sites where they get a little bit of kickback for every download, but not doing a single thing except for downloading and uploading, which is not really hard work. We do it every day for free, every single one of us. It has access to the internet, so but there are plenty there. There's a map out already, a 8x map. But I have heard words that people, I've heard a rumour, that map modders aren't too happy at the moment because the Giants editor is not loading shaders and stuff in. So a lot of people want to convert their old maps from 19 to 22 cannot do it apparently.
That sucks.
So I think unless you're building from scratch, I don't know if that included from scratch, it might be a while before we actually get a map. There's been a lot of edits though of the base maps which you generally get, which I find sort of interesting considering with the landscaping tool and everything else like that, you could pretty much, I don't know, do your own edit anyway, how you want the map. Mind you, it'll take a lot longer to do it than doing it on GE. because you literally got to plough fields and stuff to make them, and then cover other fields which are actually still set in the map as a field. At least with GE you can delete fields and put new fields down, and that's probably the only easiest bit of it. Oh, of course you could add buildings and stuff and all that kind of stuff.
I'm also suddenly wondering if the corn maze will ever come up for harvest.
The mod.
The Elm Creek corn maze attraction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to find those collectible in there is just to wait till winter, right?
Just to what?
To wait till winter?
Yeah, well that's probably the second easiest. The first easiest is find a site that gives you the location coordinates and then just teleport to it using the GS teleport command in the console, like I did with Erlengrat today.
Of course, when there was one of the collectibles is based inside of a snowman or something silly, so apparently you got to wait for winter to be able to access it. I'm like, that seemed counterintuitive.
No. You can find all the collectibles during summer.
I didn't realise that like with Erlengrat there's just 12 cheeses to collect, and with the French map there's 20 items to collect, and then with this one there's like 3 different sets of stuff you collect.
It's 10 different sets of 10 each. 100 toys in total.
I've seen someone go, oh, 100, that's too much effort. I'm like, oh, back in my day with GTA 3, you found 100 packages.
The gold,
And we liked it.
gold nuggets were always on 100 when they were on 15 and 17.
Yeah, and wasn't it with the gold nuggets you didn't get anything until you found them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with the toys you get a little bit of money for each one, and then big chunk for each finished set.
Well, not in Erlengrat. You just get 10 grand for each one, and there's 12, and so a total of 120 grand. You don't get a payout for the complete set of cheeses. You don't get any extra money for completing the cheese wheel.
Ah, that's actually a funny one.
At least with the gold one, I was actually going to try it out today. I've got a test map for this map, the American map, and I was going to go onto XML and see if we could do it the old-fashioned way, like I used to do with the gold nuggets in 17 and 15, where you just went into the XML and you changed 99 of the gold nuggets, because each nugget was a 0 until it was found, and then it was converted into a 1, or maybe it was the other way around, I can't remember, but anyway, it was most likely a 1 converted into a 0, because 0 is nothing in it. So what you needed to do, well, what I used to do is you used to go in and change 99 of them from 1 to 0, and then you go off and find the very last one in the map itself, because if you didn't, it wouldn't, even if you set them all to 0 or 100, it wouldn't class it as being completed. But if you did 99 of them and then went and you go into the map and click the last one, then you got the extra cash. Yeah, it was alright as long as you knew where one of them was, which was easy to find. When there's 100 of them around, you'd eventually run into one of them.
Oh, that and the collectibles file should give you the locations to begin with. But I think in this case it was just a simple flag of is found, true or false.
Yeah, well that's what it was. It didn't have locations. It would have done, well actually what I did in 17 is I went into GE, clicked on one and then went to the location in GE to see whereabouts it was. Yeah, I really put an effort in Mind you, it was a lot easier to find most of them in 17 because after 15 you sort of got after running around trying to find them, you sort of got an idea of how giants do their hiding, so it was easy to figure out where they most likely put it in 17. Except for one of them which was on a roof, it was really interesting to get to in Gold Crest Valley.
Oh, on top of the, was it the shop roof or the bakery roof somewhere?
Yeah, something like that.
Although I kind of like the fact you have to actively choose to collect it. Whereas, yeah, 17, I think the first time I found a nugget was jumping around inside the chicken bin, and I was like, hang on a minute, what was that?
That's true.
I did notice on a couple of them I actually had to crouch for it to come up with collect.
Yeah, that clipping was a little weird sometimes.
Other ones you have to jump up and down and stuff.
Contracts. We got power stone and spraying left. I go up with a plan which I might implement tomorrow, or just before we go to sleep actually. Really nice that they've implemented some things that you used to have to get a mod with, like automatic unloading of the bale. And shuttle control.
I suppose in your case, crow noises.
Yeah, crow noise as well. Well, they should have done that in 19 in the first place. I mean, what's the point of having the birds in there without the sounds?
I still think it should have been an adjustable option where you could dial it down a little. It's a bit silly on 19 where it's every 10 metres you got a flock of crows jumping out of the fields. Half the time specifically out of the dirt, out of nowhere.
Yeah, but though, I mean, I know with farmers, we don't have Frith around anymore. He probably would have definitely confirmed this, but I'm pretty sure, like when farmers seed a field, they put more down than they need because most of them will be eaten by birds.
Yeah,
So-
I believe that.
So you're going to have a lot of birds there, aren't you? I mean, you put a piece of bread out in your front lawn or something like that and they just flock from everywhere. So, and if they finish that piece of bread, you put another piece of bread down and then hello, they've just, well, a whole pile of them turn up again. So I can understand it. I can understand how that would sort of realistic.
Yeah, growing up in the wheat belt, it was pretty bad around the harvest season. We had those big open silos. Yeah, it's basically like just a tilted football stadium sized bit of bed, and they just dump grain on top of it. Yeah, the amount of cockatoos that'd be flying around the entire town that time of year. And chewing through the tarpaulin and getting into the grain stores.
I might be able to finish this in time before it goes dark. I just hope I've got enough bales to finish this contract off. we really haven't had a gauge on how they've done the contracts, if they reworked them, because with that issue of not being able to finish harvesting jobs, you just don't know how much you're going to have left over when you finally get to do it. Oh, until we finally get to do it when they fix that issue. But I got a fair idea.
If the contract expects you to deliver the straw as well, I'm fine with that. But then they should have added that into the base game, that you can collect straw from contracts.
Yeah, but is it though? It'd be the crop. No mention of straw when you get the harvesting job.
That's what I mean.
So, yeah, I suppose we'll find out once I do this and see how many bales I get to keep the cash for, which would be awesome.
From baling contracts you get leftovers. I had 4 bales of hay in my contract, and I made like 500 extra. What is the hay price right now? So yeah, I get to keep about 1 bale for myself of hay from 4. So you're gonna be able to keep it quite a bit, I'm guessing.
Yes, am I going to sell it now though, or am I going to wait for a better price? That is the question. Do I need the cash now, or do I take the hit for a while and make a good profit?
That's a legit question.
Actually, I should rephrase that, or make a great profit, because no matter what, I'm going to make a profit with the ones that I'm allowed to sell, because it's not my grass. It's cost me nothing to grow this, fertilise it. You could argue it cost me to lease the equipment.
No, because you took the... No, you took it with the contract, right? You did it. So it cost you that fee that they add.
The big question is, how many times today am I going to forget to do that? Which is probably the big reason I'm behind a bit, because I've lost out on contracts because I forgot to borrow the equipment. Then again, probably the bigger one is sowing the wrong crop onto a field where the game decided to not tell me that it was the wrong crop, which seems like it was a one-off thing, which is a similar thing I had to one of the plows that I was using in my private game, where it wouldn't rotate, even though it was supposed to have the ability, and I had a hired worker working that field, and obviously when it was going up and down the rows, oh, back up a bit, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, forward. It was clearly setting the lines up for accounting for the fact that the plough was supposed to rotate, and it never did, so I had missed bits on the field that wasn't ploughed by the worker.
Oh so, yeah, you mean the Quenlin plough, right?
I can't remember which one, it's a short one. And I think it was the one you had yesterday with the issue. And I tried all sorts to try and get that thing to turn, and no such luck. And then the next time I came into the game, it automatically turned when I first hit it. So I don't know what's going on there. Well, did I miss a bit of grass there? I did too. Can't have that carry on. Let's go back and get it. Come on, you can do it. Is she going in cab? Oh, actually, now think about going in cab. No, it hasn't. I remember in 19, when you went in cab at night time. Oh, I'm right past again. And especially at dusk, it would seem like it was a lot lighter in cab than it was out of cab.